In eastern Tennessee, oak forests roll over the hills in endless waves, a dense, tangled ecosystem that's as beautiful as it is unforgiving. Within this wilderness, the feral hog, one of North America's most destructive invasive species, has found its perfect refuge. They don't just survive here, they thrive, expanding their range, stealing food from native wildlife, and wreaking havoc on crops. What makes them so difficult to control is their uncanny ability to blend into the forest. They move silently, hear acutely, smell everything, and vanish the moment something feels wrong. Local hunters know better than to rely on speed or noise. Every step, every breath must be deliberate. A single crack of a dry leaf can send an entire sounder fleeing deep into the shadows. This morning, the forest feels quieter than usual, as if it's watching those who dare to enter. Here, the hunt doesn't begin when the hogs appear in sight. It begins the moment they sense that humans have arrived. This is the pursuit we've captured and now bring to you, from the wild heart of Neo Farm. Across East Tennessee, wild hogs are leaving a heavy mark on the land. Many farms here lose 30 to 40% of their crops each season, as fields are torn open and young plants are destroyed in a single night. And that's only a small piece of the larger picture. Today, wild hogs are found in more than 35 states, with an estimated population of over 6 million animals. And without control, that number can grow by 20% every year. Nationwide, they cause more than $2.5 to $3 billion in damage annually to agriculture, property, and natural ecosystems. They accelerate soil erosion, destroy habitats, and compete directly with native wildlife for food and space. So controlling this invasive species isn't just a hunter's pursuit. It's a matter of protecting livelihoods, restoring balance, and preserving the land we all depend on. Before outside help ever arrived, many farm families in East Tennessee tried to defend their land with whatever they had. Stronger fences, mechanical traps along the tree line, lights, noise, and scent deterrents. Some even kept night watches, tracking movement in the dark, hoping to stay one step ahead. But wild hogs are fast learners. They find weak points in the fence. They learn how to avoid a trap after seeing it just once. And they change their travel routes the moment something feels wrong. Costs go up, while the damage stays the same. So when homegrown efforts could no longer hold the line, the community turned to the people who know these woods better than anyone else, the hunters. They don't come for trophies or glory. They bring years of experience reading sign, understanding how hogs think, move, and react to human presence. Their role here isn't sport, it's stewardship, a fight to restore balance and to protect the livelihood of those who work this land. In this part of the country, a hunter isn't just someone who pulls a trigger. He is the final active line of defense between the fields that feed families and the forest that's always pushing forward. From the moment they step into the timber, the forest begins to change, not with noise, but with awareness. The hunt has begun, though not in a burst of speed. Instead, the woods settle into a different kind of silence. Stalking and formation isn't impulse, and it isn't instinct alone. It is a disciplined, deliberate coordination between hunter and dog. In the dense hardwoods of East Tennessee, where thick ground cover absorbs sound and heavy canopy narrows every line of sight, each person in the team has only one job, and they must do it with absolute precision. The lead scout moves first with the bombs, reading the smallest signs: a root lifted from the soil, a patch of overturned leaves, a subtle shift in the forest floor. The us here are not chargers or chasers. They are the team's extended sense of smell, drifting slow and careful through the damp wind, following what scent remains. This stage demands patience and specialization, where every breath is measured, every footstep intentional, because one wrong move One moment of haste, and the entire approach must begin again from the very start. When the dogs begin to hold a steady bay, their measured rhythmic barking rising through the thick brush, it signals that the hogs are contained, not panicked, not running, but focused within a tight pocket of timber. The primary shooter maintains distance behind the line, controlling breath, posture, and sight picture, waiting for the clearest and safest moment to act. On the outer edge of the formation, the watchman reads the wind, monitors possible escape routes, and tracks the dog's movement to anticipate the final break. No one speaks, no one calls commands. The entire team moves through hand signals, quiet footwork, and the dog's controlled cadence. And when that cadence shifts, quicker, firmer, more certain, it's more than just sound in the forest. It's the signal that the decisive moment is close. In a hunt where every movement is bounded by time and terrain, gear becomes more than tools. It becomes an extension of resolve. Large caliber rifles like the .30-06 Springfield and .308 Winchester are chosen for their balance of accuracy and stopping power in tight, low visibility timber, while variable power scopes let the primary shooter pick out a moving target through the tangled canopy. Support systems, GPS trackers, and laser rangefinders quietly feed the team vital data: the dog's locations, shooting distances, and the herd's direction, letting the formation adjust without a word. Each piece is selected not for flash, but for silent, reliable function in a place where a single second's delay or one unnecessary sound can erase the only opening you'll get. If equipment and skill are what allow us to approach, then the true key to finishing a stalk hunt lies in patience and in the ability to withstand sustained psychological pressure. This is no longer a contest of muscle or speed, but a quiet standoff between human will and the refined survival instincts of an animal shaped by generations of being pursued. Mature boars in particular develop astonishing counter strategies to break a team's advance. One of the most effective is stillness. When pressured, a wild hog may lie motionless for hours in thick cover, making no sound, forcing the dogs to lose scent and the hunters to risk moving closer for visual confirmation. At times, they will create false trails, deliberately turning off course or stepping back along their own path to confuse the track, buying precious seconds and forcing the team to halt and reassess. Some even learn to use wind, slipping into draws or timber edges where shifting air currents scramble scent and make it nearly impossible for dogs to hold a steady line. None of these behaviors are accidental. They are the result of constant adaptation, a reminder that each hunt is not just a matter of tactics, but a prolonged test of judgment, patience, and the quiet resolve to see it through.
Şimdi görüyorum at. Onu bırak, tamam.
And just as the wild hog has evolved to survive, the hunter must evolve as well. not through gear alone, but through will. To outthink an animal that has lived under pressure for generations, the hunter must overcome his own internal limits, where there is no room for haste or emotion. The primary shooter holds the most critical position in the approach, yet also bears the weight of waiting, sometimes remaining perfectly still for long minutes at a time, preserving the clean window where the sight line is unobstructed and breathing falls back under full control. Meanwhile, if the dogs lose the trail, the support team must quickly consult GPS data, evaluate movement patterns, and reassess the situation in real time. Under high tension, every decision must be driven by information, not instinct or impulse. And when the moment to act finally arrives, breath control becomes the final anchor, slowing the heartbeat, settling the rifle, and making the decision in total stillness. Nothing in the woods happens by accident, and no shot is taken while adrenaline still holds the mind. Because in this hunt, victory doesn't belong to the one who moves first, but to the one who remains calm the longest, when all that remains is breath, the weight of a rifle, and a choice that cannot be taken back.
Domuz domuz öndeki domuz. Ulan sarıya bak. Aferin oğlum be. Aferin dur. Tamam çocuk. Aa deri indi. Oo yuvarlandı deriye lan. Domuz vardı onu vuramadık ama sonradan bir ayı geldi, güzel bir görüntü oldu, ormana yukarı gitti. Arkadan bekledik arkadaşlar zor çıkardılar. Tutalım mı?
Ya vurdu. Devam ediyor. Nasıl?
Nasıl?
The wild boar hunters are not merely men with courage. They are the unsung guardians of the wild, the quiet shield that stands between chaos and harmony. These warriors walk paths few dare to tread, through mud, rain, and tangled forests, driven not by glory but by duty. A duty to protect the earth, the harvest, and the balance that keeps our world alive. Watch how they move, not with haste, but with purpose. Every gesture speaks of years of trust, teamwork, and understanding of the land. They know every sound in the forest, every whisper of the wind. In their silence lies wisdom. In their patience, strength. They are not simply chasing a creature, they are defending generations of farmers, protecting the soil that feeds our children, and preserving the fragile bond between humanity and nature. Even when storms roar and darkness covers the sky, they do not falter. When others rest, they rise. When others look away, they stand watch. Theirs is not a life of ease, but one of sacrifice, a quiet, relentless commitment to something greater than themselves. And so, as you watch these scenes, remember, what you see on screen is only a fraction of their reality. Behind every frame are sleepless nights, wet boots, aching muscles, and hearts that refuse to give up. They are men of the earth, steadfast, humble, and fierce when duty calls. Take a moment to honor them. Leave a word of gratitude, not just for what they do, but for who they are. Protectors of the wild, defenders of the land, and silent heroes who stand between us and the untamed world beyond.
Görüyorum. Aha. Ta aşağıdan geliyor.
In the quiet hardwoods of East Tennessee, where every branch, every shift in the wind can change the outcome of a hunt, the wild hog is more than a target. It represents a larger struggle, one of survival, invasion, and the thin line between human settlement and the natural world. Not every hunt ends with a shot. Sometimes the true success is in maintaining control of the encounter, reading the animal's intent, understanding when conditions aren't right, and withdrawing in silence. For the hunters here, each step into the forest is not just an act of population control, but a journey to preserve balance between instinct and restraint, between pressure and patience, between the people and the land they call home. The lesson in the end is not measured by how many animals are taken, but by knowing what must be controlled and what must be respected. And we continue to document these moments, every step, every breath, every choice, here at NeoFarm. Because some stories, even those buried deep in the timber, must be told to understand, to protect, and to remember where the line between humanity and the wild truly lies.